St. Benedict's coach by Jim Wadman. Number 1, Mason Schuler. Number 2, Brandon Hernandez. Number 6, Hudson Amin. Number 8, Haslam Nahaim. Number 11, Frank Paul. Number 12, Brandon Pizzata. Number 15, Richmond Labria. Number 17, Joshua Mendez. Number 23, Steve Jean Batista. Number 70, Nathaniel Ado. And number 77, Godwin Amin.
And now, for Salesianum and their head coach, Scott Mosier.
Number
1, or 0, Tom DeRosa. Number 2, Dominic Sirocco. Number 4, Elijah Azar. Number 7, Brady Azir. Number 8, Nicole Rossi. Number 10, Joe Tatura. Number 13 or 12, Sawyer Valet. Number 14, Brian Perez Herrera. Number 16, Daniel Matthews. Number 17, Chase Iser. And number 24, Noah Nemeth. Let's have a great game.
Welcome, soccer fans, to Abysinio Stadium. We have an electrifying evening here for you in Wilmington, Delaware. My name is Adam Mancucci, and joining me tonight inside the commentary box, we have Tim Grace for a very, very exciting showdown between Salesianum and St. Benedict's Prep. Tim, what's the immediate story here for you tonight?
You know, Adam, the Sals are in a tough match tonight. St. Benedict's Prep is the #1 team in the nation, but these Sals have shown a lot of promise. They've outscored their opponents this year 18-6. The main question tonight is if the Sals can punch above their weight for all 80 minutes.
Let's talk about that legacy that St. Benedict's Prep has. What makes their program so successful year after year?
Well, you know, Adam, that #1 title is just a big advertisement telling all the best soccer players around, go to St. Benedict's Prep, go to New Jersey, and have a good time. But their draw isn't just the tri-state area. It's the entire world. These kids here are the global pinnacle of high school soccer.
And what about Sally's? What are they known for?
Well, despite not recruiting athletes, Salesianum has been at the top of Delaware for years at this point, and that comes down to Coach Scott Mosier. All of his teams have dominated the first state soccer, and it's come to the point where he's the winningest soccer coach in the state of Delaware.
Now, if you had to focus on one key area tonight, what do you think is that one aspect of the game that will determine the outcome?
The main aspect of this game tonight, Adam, is stamina. It comes down to whether or not the Sals can stay at that 120% the entire game. It's going to be tough, but I think they've got it in them.
Now let's go to some starting lineups real quick. On Salesianum, number 0, Thomas DeRosa. Number 2, Dominic Siriaco. Number 4, Elijah Asio. Number 7, Brady Esser. Number 8, Nico Rossi. Number 10, Joseph Turturro, back from injury. Number 12, Sawyer Vaya. Number 14, Brian Perez Herrera, also known as Chicha. Number 16, Daniel Matthews. Number 17, Chase Esser. Number 24, Noah Nemeth. Now for the starting lineup for St. Benedict's Prep. Number 1, Mason Schuler. Number 2, Brian Hernandez. Number 6, Godson Anim. Number 8, Taslim Nayaya. Number 11, Frank Pa. Number 12, Braden Quezada. Number 15, Richmond Lariba. Number 17, Joshua Mendez. Number 23, Steve Jean-Baptiste. Number 70, Nathan Addo. And number 77, Godwin Anim. All these players here tonight very eager to start this match. Of course, St. Benedict's in New Jersey. The Gray Bees having to travel a significant amount of time here. They'll be sure to get ready, be ready to start this game. And Salesianum, this is usually their biggest game of the season other than the state championship. So all these teams are ready, and we await the whistle coming in the next seconds. And we're off here with St. Benedict starting out possession. We'll see what these guys can do.
Sal's playing very heavy press defense.
St. Benedict's with an early lapse in concentration. Chase Esser is chasing this one down very fast. Possession bobbling between these two superpowers on the East Coast. Tim, I could already tell in these first 30 seconds it's going to be a great match just by the intensity that these teams have.
The Sal's are energized tonight, Adam. You got that part right. And there's some heavy contact, and St. Benny's will get possession.
I don't quite know what that was about, but I can say one thing for sure. The Salesianum fans are not having it. It'll be St. Benedicts, though, who are able to win the first foul of the night here. Chesser there with the deflection off of number 6, Godsanim, senior here at St. Benedict's, known on varsity, has been on varsity for all 4 years of his high school career here. One of their certainly better well-regarded players on the team. Throw in for St. Benedict's. Anim again with the throw. Second foul of the night now here in Salesianum's third. St. Benedict's will be looking to guys off of this direct free kick. Tim, what can we expect from St. Benedict's set piece rotations?
Well, I mean, when they're the #1 team, they have to get creative with what they're doing, because if they do it enough, it's just too predictable for these teams to watch. So this set piece is going to be very interesting.
Nathaniel Addo here, looks like he is the primary set piece taker.
Salesianum student section is rowdy tonight. Biggest it's been for soccer in the past couple of years.
This is the biggest game. Addo with the free kick. He looks to shoot, and it's just over the bar.
Great effort there by the goalie, Thomas DeRosa, laying out for the chance to deflect that ball.
Looks like he would have stopped it if had Addo's free kick been more on target, but have to give credit to Addo. That free kick was looking very dangerous. Now Daniel Matthews on this right flank, looking to take this ball up into the defensive third of St. Benedict's. A wayward cross, though. Salesianum and St. Benedict's battling possession. Turturro able to get that one away from Anim. St. Benedict's with possession again. Addo now on this right side. Very nice through ball laid in.
Turturro takes a tumble on that one.
Certainly wouldn't want to get re-injured after his lengthy absence from soccer. Noah Nemeth in a 1v1 versus Frank Pa. However, good defense so far. Anim chasing this ball down, ensuring that it does not go out for a goal kick. Cross box. Thomas DeRosa, however, able to get a glove on it. Chase Esser will look to make do with this ball. Daniel Matthews, though, attempting to reach Chicha all the way on that left flank, but just unable to do the deflection. But Chase Esser now chasing after this ball. No pun intended. Pa with a very, very good skill move there. It falls to Addo on this left flank. Siriaco in the 1v1. But a very, very good slide tackle from our returnee, Joseph Turturro.
And there's a foul against the Gray Bees.
Yeah, just a little too rough there with Brady Esser. 10th here at Salesianum School, had a very, very big impact, helping them reach the state finals. Of course, I was talking to him earlier this season, and his goal is to win. So we'll be certainly expecting to see him involved in a lot of duels here tonight. Matthews now on this right flank. Looking to get in for a cross in a 1v1, able to get the nutmeg there. Able to get past two, but in the end, Schuler, goalkeeper for the Gray Bees. Tim, with 5 minutes passed on the clock, I think this is exactly what we were expecting from this matchup between St. Benedict's and Salesianum. A very, very intense level match.
I mean, absolutely. You've seen it, Adam. The Sal's have been playing so fast-paced. Just such an intense game. While the Gray Bees looked to try and slow everything down and keep control. And these two opposing styles have really gone at it so far.
Turturro there with a valiant effort to make sure that ball did not go out for a corner kick. It'll be a throw-in on the opposite side of the stadium. Referee signaling that St. Benedict's player has to go a little closer to where the ball went out. Of course, you do have some leeway on throw-ins, but not supposed to stray too far from where the ball left the pitch. I believe that is Salesianum there to take the long throw-in. Nico Rossi attempting to clear that ball there. Just wasn't able to get the correct contact on it. It's out for Frank Pa. Salesianum again with that throw-in. Nico Rossi, though, with a very, very good turn, able to get that ball out. The pass afterwards, however, wasn't the best. St. Benedict's taking this one down the field again. Noah Nemeth up against Frank Pa. But Thomas DeRosa there with an amazing save to keep that one out for a corner.
It's an incredible job by DeRosa. There's the corner for the Gray Bees. That one just shy of the goal before being kicked out. It'll be a goal kick for the Sals.
Thomas DeRosa there with the goal kick of reward after his very valiant effort to keep that earlier ball from going into the back of the net. Sends this one up to halfway. Nathaniel Addo was able to get the header there. Steve Jean-Baptiste there. It's Joshua Mendez for the shots. However, not as what he wanted, and Thomas DeRosa able to just kneel down and get that one safely into the cusp of his gloves.
That's already 3 saves for DeRosa on the night. With the way this game's going, it looks like it's going to be a lot more.
Yeah, the St. Benedict's press is certainly working. As you can see, able to force the ball out there from Dominic Siriaco for a throw-in. Salesianum will look to just keep that ball outside of the reach of St. Benedict's Gray Bees. However, it'll be certainly a tough challenge for them tonight. Anim with the throw. Elijah Asio battling for that ball there, just attempting to get a foot on it. But now Brady Esser attempting to send it to Chicha. He'll attempt to turn, however, referee attempted to give advantage there, but in the end, Chicha fouled. It'll be a free kick for Salesianum. Taken quickly now Siriaco. Siriaco looking for options, is able to find Chicha there. Beautiful touch, beautiful skill there to get past his man. It's a 1v1 now. He'll look to cross this into the box eventually. Chicha, of course, known for his dribbling skills, but in the end, it wasn't enough to get past that right back for St. Benedict's. And now it'll be the first Salesianum corner of the game.
Salesianum corners have been pretty straightforward this season, Adam. Just taking it in, nothing too fancy with the set piece, just try and get it in the goal as quickly and efficiently as possible. Taken by Sawyer Valle tonight.
Sawyer Valle often the #1 set piece taker for Salesianum, Joseph Turturro. Referee currently talking to Chase Esser and one of the St. Benedict's players there, just making sure they don't get into too much of a scuffle. Chase, very smart there, blocking the goalkeeper, ensuring that he can't see much. But Valle with the corner. Decent delivery in, the look, and a very, very, very good chance there for Daniel Matthews. Just unable to get that touch, but he'll certainly be looking to score in the future, and he'll certainly be regretting that one. bowing his head now. But such a close chance in the early 10 minutes of this match, Tim.
Just unlucky there, Adam. Just bad stroke of luck from the Sal's.
Here's a replay of that incident. You see it just falls to Daniel Matthews, but then just not lucky on the touch. It just bounced a little too high, and he tried to get it on the outside out of his foot, but not lucky in the end. Long throw and taken, but Noah Nemeth with the glancing header.
A little bit of friendly fire there from the Sal's, quick to get up and back in the action.
Through ball attempted to be played there by number 8, Teslim Niaya. However, it falls to Daniel Matthews now. Matthews not realizing that St. Benedict's player was approaching, just not aware enough. Gives away a foul. It'll be a free kick now for St. Benedict's. It's Godson Anim who is going to take this free kick. Likely going to look long. Salesianum has their defensive line set up at the 18. Goes long, but in an unexpected way to Frank Pa, who's now in a 2 versus 1 situation. Back to Anim. There's certainly a long cross in to Godwin Anim, his brother, but it'll fall for a corner.
But that was an incredible tackle there by Joe Turturro.
Time and time again, Joe Turturro showing up on that left side to keep the ball outside of the box. I didn't realize, Tim, that number 6 Godson Anim and number 77 Godwin Anim, those are brothers, potentially even twins, being both seniors.
I mean, if you've got similar enough genetics, you're bound to both be really good at soccer. So I'm not super surprised, as that's an incredible save from DeRosa. The Sal's will look to take this one on the attack.
Yeah, Chicha there just chasing that ball down, just barely too fast for him. He's able to get a touch in, but this ends up sending it to St. Benedict's instead. Brady Esser now attempting to confuse the opponent. Through ball in. Anim trying to find Addo there, but just not able to in the end, and it'll be a kick for DeRosa. DeRosa calling his players to move forward. Possession and contest. Not anymore. Schuler.
The Gray Bees have been controlling the pace tonight really well. They're playing the game on their own terms, and the Sal's are trying to speed it up, but it appears to be to no avail. As there goes a fruitless crosser, resulting in a goal kick for Thomas DeRosa.
Thomas DeRosa certainly getting much more time on the field today to actually handle the ball compared to last match versus Wilmington Christian, an 8-1 win. Before he was substituted out by Coach Mosier, Salesianum had scored, I believe, 5 goals already, so no need for him to stay on. But today it looks like they'll be starting and keeping their first choice goalkeeper. Ball bouncing in the end there. Asillo battling with Jean-Baptiste. Cross back into the box. However, that line ref on the far corner signaling a goal kick even after Noah Nemeth had gotten a touch. Matthews booting that ball. Esser going to attempt to get to that, however, unlucky in the end. Anim getting it safely to Schuler. Now to Quezada. St. Benedict's controlling possession very well here, even under Salesianum pressure. Salesianum playing a formation that's very unlike them compared to past games versus St. Benedict's. Typically, you'll see them in a low block. However, in this case, they're very much more attacking, very much more pressing. They're a lot more on the offensive mindset compared to previous matches where Salesianum were just looking to keep the ball out of the net. This time, they'll be looking to do that and put the ball into St. Benedict's.
You know, and that just comes with that underdog mentality. They got to strike first and punch as hard as they can to try and stay alive in this game. And so far, it looks like they've been doing a great job as there was a save by Tommy DeRosa.
Thomas DeRosa with the very, very good save. Noah Nemeth tried to get a clearance originally, but just went up straight up, and it's still in St. Benedict's possession now. Go for the shot. DeRosa was ready, though. Frank Pa attempting to slide that ball into the top right corner. However, in the end, it'll be a goal kick. DeRosa has been on the top of his game tonight so far. Daniel Matthews now. St. Benedict's who have possession. However, Noah Nemeth able to get a body over ball there this time. However, not a foul, so play will continue. Frank Pa just letting that ball roll out. Noah Nemeth now on the side. Sending it to Chase Esser in a very, very hard duel there with Anim. Anim deemed there to be a little too physical. It'll be a free kick. Salesianum deciding who to take. Looks like it'll be Nico Rossi who will send this ball in long. Second set piece of the night for Salesianum. What can they make out of it? Rossi with the delivery. Good delivery, however, St. Benedict's just there, able to clear it. Number 14. Attempting to get that to Chicha there. Joseph Turturro back from injury. Neem. Nemeth getting in the way there unexpectedly of Daniel Matthews, but trying to regain that ball. And then Nemeth able to get that out for a clearance. Referee having a word with the coach there for St. Benedict's. Don't quite know what that was about. Hopefully acting in a sportsman-like nature. Klon Takum, number 3 for Salesianum on the sidelines, getting ready to come in, likely after this throw-in. Daniel Matthews in a 1-versus-1. St. Benedict's really wanted that. But now substitution of the night for either team. Declan Takum coming in for number 10, Joseph Turturro. I have to admit this was expected given the injury that Joseph Turturro had been sustaining for the past couple of weeks. However, Declan Takum, known as Lightning McQueen in and around the school, and look to have a good impact on this match. He is tied for the leading goal scorer with Sawyer Vaya at the moment, both with 3 goals. Tacom able to get a hat trick in the 8-2 win against Milford High School at Fusco Fields earlier last week. Esser attempting to find Chicha, however, in the end, Quezada able to get the header and deflect it off Chicha's path. Excuse me, it looks like number 10, Joseph Turturro, is still staying in. However, it looks like they've made Coach Mojo has made a tactical switch. Declan Tacom in for left back. Noah Nemeth at right back going out, but Joseph Turturro, very versatile player, I guess, able to fill in for that right back spot. He also has played center defensive mid and center mid and center attacking mid for Salesianum in the past year and a half. So very versatile player, props to him. Tacom shielding that ball out for a goal kick. Salesianum School with quite the turnout here tonight. A much larger student section than normal here, for soccer games here at Abisinio Stadium, with legends like Father Chris Beretta in presence and Doc Joe on the sideline. Sure to see some Salesianum faces.
I think Doc Joe's here every game, Adam. That's part of his job, you know?
You might be right about that one.
But the Gray Bees still controlling possession.
DeRosa scooping that up into his hands. With a little more than half of this match, half of the half gone so far, Tim, what are your thoughts?
You know, Adam, this game has been really good from the Sals. They've really been punching above their weight, just staying in the game despite the #1 tag next to St. Benedict's. Sals are playing their hearts out, and the Gray Bees are being held to a goose egg so far.
Yeah, the last match against St. Benedict's was away last year for Salesianum. It was a 5-0, very resounding loss there, with goals in the 4th minute of the first half, and then some goals immediately after into the second half as well. Salesianum are faring much better than expected, granted their performances last year and the years before. However, St. Benedict's looking as strong as always. So this is a much tighter match than some people may have thought it would be.
I mean, you know, part of that, Adam, is a lot of this Salesianum team is returning starters from last year's varsity who lost to the Gray Bees. So they're here with a vengeance. They don't just want to beat the #1 team. They want to get back for losing to them on the road last year.
That fire inside was certainly being engulfed by, I believe, number 7, Brady Esser there, who gave away the free kick after a iffy slide tackle. But the ball will end up now back with Thomas DeRosa, getting the most touches that he has had this season. St. Benedict's and Salesianum sloppier than usual, I must admit. Clon Takum now. Chicha. Fun fact about them, they actually share the same homeroom in Mr. Finicaro's room.
That's interesting. Looks like they also shared the same mark there as they were double teaming that attacker. And that leads to a corner kick for the Gray Bees.
Yeah, Godwin Aneem, one of those Aneem brothers here at St. Benedict's, just not able to get past the force of both players there. But he'll have his chance at a corner to try and make up for that. St. Benedict's with the ball in, however, Salesianum defense able to get ahead to it. It's on the sideline though, but Joseph Turturo's impenetrable defense not able to get by him. Benedict's being forced to pass. Ball falls to Brady Esser. He had Braylon Moultrie there. St. Benedict's, though, with possession now. Aneem has options, but it looks to cross. Pa. Daniel Matthews, though, with very, very impressive defense. Not only able to make sure that Pa had no opportunity to cross, but didn't even give up a corner kick.
Matthews looked like he could have been playing basketball there, just boxing Pa out. And Trevor Pobre coming in for Joe Turturo.
Pobre with his first touch on the ball right into the stomach of a St. Benedict's player. Salesianum student section now with some chance to encourage their team as Elijah Asio with a very, very good slide tackle previously. Takum versus Aneem in that 1-versus-1 scenario again. However, header into the back of the net for St. Benedict's. That's number 10, Samuel Morales, who is on the ground right now. Doc Joe Zerba, athletic trainer at Salesianum School, coming on to the pitch to assist. See that replay just there. Able to get that glancing header, get past Siriaco, who was covering him. But now with a short break, Salesianum will certainly look to finish the half with a goal in hand.
I mean, absolutely, Adam. This has been a very close first half, and the fact that we've gone so far through it with only one goal given up for the Sals is a huge confidence booster, and hopefully this goal will set a fire underneath of them to get them working even harder, kicking it into 7th gear, just going all out for the rest of this game.
Much better performance than last year. As I said, 2 goals in the first 4 minutes away from St. Benedict's versus Salesianum. However, Salesianum, those strikers, you know, Chase Esser, Daniel Matthews, they'll be looking to get a ball into the back of the net behind Mason Schuler in these final 12 minutes that we'll have after this short injury break. Glad to see that number 10 goal scorer for St. Benedict's tonight, Samuel Morales, is off the pitch, however in a healthy way. Salesianum will set up their signature kickoff here, known all across Delaware. See what I mean in a minute. match is underway once again for Salesianum. Ross is sending that ball in to the left side. Looks like it'll end up with Moultrie, however, very, very, very.
I think that's the wrong kind of football, Adam.
Yeah,
it's more like a hit stick than anything.
Hit stick indeed, as Moultrie gets hit square in the face. Very similar to what happened at the other end. But on the other hand, Sawyer Valle now looks like he'll have a free kick in a very dangerous area. We hope that Moultrie is doing okay, though.
I mean, he can't be doing too bad. He's still on the pitch, involved in this set piece.
That's what you gotta love about this Salesianum team. Injured or not, they want to have an impact. Referee setting up the play. Signals play on. Salesianum will look to capitalize, however, in the end, the free kick itself not being able to work out thanks to Brandon Quezada's very chalant clearance there.
As the Gray Bees try and send this one past the middle third. Playing very slow and controlled right now.
They're certainly very happy to keep possession after their goal. Just want to run down the clock until halftime until they can get the break that they believe they deserve.
And throw in for St. Benedicts. Salesianum defense trying to kick up the pace a little bit.
Schuler very risky there, however, able to get the ball away just in time. But now it's Chicha who attempted to send it to Moultrie there. Might have been offsides in any case. Moultrie with the press. Chicha, however, hanging back. The fall to Brady Esser here. Now in a 1v1 scenario, Anseeman. Clontakum. That Benedict's player there looking a little dazed as he gets up. Didn't know what quite happened, but
just a little bit of contact, not quite enough for a foul. This will be a very, very deep throw in for the Sals.
People falling left and right. Brady Esser going down. I wonder if it's the turf in that specific spot that's making everyone fall down, but I guess we'll never know, as both 14s are pit against each other here. Chicha, the successful one, until now with St. Benedict's throw-in. Ball falls to Acio, who chooses to take the one touch. Acio with the powerful clearance, but straight up into the sky. Not much distance. And now Moultrie here. Matthews looks like he's in that right back position as he was last year, where he performed so well. Clontakum with a good challenge there. But Salesianum very sloppy on that left flank, I must say.
They're just trying to play a little too fast-paced. They're not controlling the ball as much as they'd like to. And it's just costing them. This will be a throw-in for St. Benedict's.
Yeah, you certainly need to be clinical when you're down 1-0. Coach Mosier will certainly have a lot to say at halftime. Certainly praising what Salesianum has done good, but making sure that they can get 2 on the board to secure this win. It's on the left side for St. Benedict's. Anim on that left side. Cross in now, but Asio able to get there first. Then Pobre with a very good header for his height. Pobre again, sending it to Moultrie. I don't know on purpose or not, but good clearance nevertheless. Back out on the right, a very well-worked cross there. But St. Benedict's will be looking to make that in, and it's a goal for St. Benedict's.
Great save to start from DeRosa, but just got knocked right back into play and right back into that top corner.
We have a replay up here now. See Dominic Siriaco able to get ahead to it, but number 70, Nathaniel Addo, shot that there. DeRosa with a very, very good touch to deflect it. However, in the end, number 23, Steve Jean-Baptiste, just able to hit that in. Salesianum with an overrated chance after the goal.
I mean, if you're Coach Mosier right now, you have to hope that these 2 goals in quick succession aren't a sign of the second half to come and are just a little bit of exhaustion coming from the Sal's. Hopefully after halftime, they'll be right back at it, or even right now they'll be right back at it with this.
And I remember
kickoff.
Tim, I remember you talking about stamina in that first, in that pregame show, you know, just Sal's just need to have the stamina to outlast their opponents. Like you said, Mosier would certainly not want this to be a sign that their stamina is coming to an end here. It's here for number 25, 26, Mamadou Dieng. Asim to Addo. Back to Asim. Now Dieng. Very nice tiki-taka soccer there, but Salesianum a little reckless, and now it'll be a free kick about 7 meters out from the 18, maybe 6.
And for any Americans watching, that's about the 22-yard line on that football field. Just to clear things up, as this will be an interesting set piece from the Gray Bees.
Thomas DeRosa setting up that wall now. Players Daniel Matthews, Joseph Turturro, and Sawyer Valle ready to jump and save their heads if need be. Excuse me, that was sacrifice their heads. I think it's Nia with the shot. However, DeRosa, very, very close. Just wasn't able to get that 100% contact on the ball. But in the end, it's an offside, so had St. Benedict scored there, would not have counted. DeRosa, luck coming in hand. Rossi with a, just not paying attention enough, not judging the distance well enough between him and Turturro. St. Benedict's now in possession. It's Dieng now with Asim on the left. Addo with the ball now with a larger cross to the Asim on the right. Elijah Asio pressing now. Quezada able to chip this one in. But Benedict's attempting to get a shot in, but Asio with a lackluster clearance. Chicha now with the ball. Has Brady Esser there. But now St. Benedict's giving up the throw, and it looks like that was Brandon Quezada, number 12, on the right side.
Sal's keeping the pace up, taking that throw in instantly.
Yeah, they can't afford to lose any time here. They only have about 3.5 minutes left, plus any stoppage time if the officials deem so. Now it's for Dieng. Dieng will look to shoot, but a very excellent challenge there from Trevor Pobre. Very clinical, did everything he needed to do and more without touching the player. Props to him for an excellent piece of defensive work.
St. Benedict's going to take the corner here.
Looks like this will be Addo. Very good delivery. However, in the end, it looks like there'll be a foul on St. Benedict's for Salesianum. Just being a little too rough in the 18 box, so Thomas DeRosa now has the opportunity. Excuse me, Dominic Siriaco looks like he'll be taking this free kick today. Sends it long and far. It looks like it'll fall for Brady Esser. Able to get a glancing header on that to get it to Daniel Matthews. Now a second free kick. 10 meters from halfway. Looks like the referee there, if we can get a camera on him, is going and awarding a yellow card to the St. Benedict's head coach, Jim Wandling. Referee said no more talking. Looks like Wandling was being a little too vocal. Of course, Salesianum players not worrying about that whatsoever, especially Joseph Turturro, who will be taking this free kick exactly at that 40-yard line for my American fans. Turturro with a very good delivery into the box. Matthews with the glancing header, but Chicha just not tall enough there to anticipate the header as in his position.
Just a haircut for Perez Herrera. Couldn't quite get the rest of his head on it. Leads to some contention for possession now.
He'll be looking to gain a couple inches in these next couple of years. And another foul there. We have our first player yellow card of the match here for St. Benedict's. Looks like that's Kelly Aru Jr. at St. Benedict's.
Thankfully, Acio was able to get back up and stay in the set piece as we enter stoppage time as the Sal's take this free kick.
Brian Perez Herrera coming off. Matthew McAllister replacing him. The free kick's good, but is it good enough? But in the end, it would be a free kick for St. Benedict's going in the other direction.
Adam, that one just looked like Danny Matthews. He was getting there. He was backpedaling. He just ran a little too hard into the goalie there, getting him out of his space.
Goalkeeper chooses to go short there, just eat up some time.
If only you could take a knee in this kind of football, this half would be over a lot quicker. There's a big clearance for St. Benedict's, and the Sal's looking to retain control.
Bad touch from Trevor Pobre, but it won't matter because now Salesianum are officially 2-0 down versus St. Benedict's here at halftime. Tim, what have we seen so far?
I mean, the Sal's came off the gate ready. They were playing with fire, and it just looks like they've gotten a little tired in all 40 of those minutes in the first half. And St. Benedict's has been able to start taking advantage of some of these mistakes. And hopefully Coach Mosier can help the Sal's tighten up the ship, just try and keep the mistakes to a minimum and try and really go on the attack this time.
Yeah, Coach Mosier will be certainly looking to discuss with his players where they can improve in this next half. In the meantime, we would like to present the WSIL Fan of the Match, of course being submitted by a lot of different people here at WSIL. And the winner for the WSIL Fan of the Match is Enzo Viterbo. Congratulations, Enzo. Very good fan of the match. What do you say, Tim?
Yeah, we've been hearing Enzo from the student section all night so far, and I don't anticipate that's going to slow down one bit.
If Enzo certainly could be that 12th man. If everyone was that 12th man for Salesianum, we might see them 2-2. But in the meantime, please join us after 9 minutes here at Abyssinios Stadium for the second half of Salesianum versus St. Benedict's. Welcome back here to WSAO for the second half of action at Abyssinia Stadium between Salesianum and St. Benedicts. My name is Adam Minicucci, and of course my partner Tim Grace. Tim, let's get a recap of what happened in that first half.
Well, the first half, the Sal's came out the gate with a fire. They were playing hard and well, and they were going at it until number 10, Samuel Morales, and number 23, Steve Jean-Baptiste, scored goals for the St. Benedict's Grey Bees late in that first half as the Sal's, their form looked to be deteriorating a little bit, and they just seemed to be getting a little sloppy. And now, in the start of this half, it looks like they're back in that top gear trying to put the ball in that net.
Yeah, it's now to Brady Esser, who will look to send in a very chipped cross there for Chicha, but in the end it'll be a corner kick immediately after the first minute for Salesianum. Tim, you did mention stamina would be the biggest factor here for Salesianum, just being able to keep up with the relentless play of St. Benedict's. And here it is apparent that, at least in the first half, that stamina was wavering a tiny bit, but of course both sides now have had their chance to recuperate that lost stamina, and they'll be looking to act forward and move along nicely in the second half.
Now, for the Sal's after that play, number 7, Brady Esser, is still on the ground.
Apologies as we pause here for an injury now. Looks like number 7, Brady Esser. Applause now from the crowd as Brady Esser is able to get up. Looks like his older brother, 2 years older as a senior, Chase Esser, coming in for him. Didn't see it, but there was a hug between Chase and Brady, a reminder that soccer, is all about love.
I mean, yeah, especially the brotherhood here at Salesianum Adam. These two are literally brothers. Not only are they just on that same soccer team, so good that they're connected like that, as Chase walking on his own off the field alongside Dr. Joe Zerber, the athletic trainer.
But now back to the game as the referee signals Valle is able to take his corner. However, looked like it was going straight for the goalkeeper, so Schuler did everything he could and just got that one down into his hands. But a fast start to this game already. Elijah Asillo attempting to qualm the dribbling prowess there of St. Benedict's, but it's no avail. St. Benedict's just passing, very carefree. They've done this so much in training, and now it's translating to on the pitch. Asillo attempting to first shield that ball out, but seeing incoming pressure from goal Steve Jean-Baptiste, he hits that out for a throw-in. Addo was attempting to find some pocket that he could dribble into, but Salesianum's defense shut him down. Daniel Matthews now is in a similar situation, but purely based on pace, he's able to get past one and falls to Chicha, who attempted to get there but just slipped in the end and wasn't able to make an impact. Quezada with the long ball. Talk him right back at him.
Incredible touch there by Perez Herrera. Flying through the air, keep that ball in play.
Yeah, reminiscent of top-tier players in Europe like Marcelo, who Brazilian, played for Real Madrid. I was actually talking to Brian Perez-Herralson Chicha earlier this season. He said that was one of the players that he aspired to be like, Marcelo, and just how he was a very versatile player, could do anything and everything. And while Chicha's very young, of course, only being a sophomore, he has two and a little more full years to improve his game and become like that player that he aspires to be. But for now, it'll be Declan Takum with the ball. Chicha passing it back to Siriaco. Rossi now. Picking out Turturro on that left side. Turturro will look to cross, but gets one with the fake and then sends the ball in. No handball, signals the ref.
Valiant effort there from Rossi, but unfortunately he just was unable to come out of that pocket with the ball.
Yeah, Mamadou Dieng on that left side for St. Benedict's was just looking for the cross there for that long ball from St. Benedict's player who was fouled. However, in the end, especially because Trevor Pobre, who was covering him, just wasn't able to catch up. But in the end now, while they do still have possession, it wasn't what they wanted. Even more so now that Salesianum have a throw-in.
Adam, so far the Sal's have been playing very reminiscent of how they played in those first couple minutes of the match, where they were really just playing well and better than they ever should be playing. And it looks like they're still in there, playing very physical, very hard-nosed soccer.
That'll fall to Daniel Matthews, who wasn't able to get that touch pass. Number 2, the captain, the skipper for St. Benedict's, Brian Hernandez. Of course, the skipper has been very, very dominant in terms of how he's controlled his team and helped them play well. He's like a second coach, but on the field. In absence of Wandeling's yellow card that he received early in the first half. That is the coach of St. Benedict's Prep. Mendez to Nia. Anim now. He has Dieng on his left making a run, but in the end chooses Addo. Addo to Nia. Mendez tries to find Dieng there, but in the end not able to because of good Salesianum cover. Thomas DeRosa able to grab that in his hands. The Salesianum redisperse themselves, resettle into the match.
DeRosa has played incredibly so far tonight, and honestly, I think he's been one of the best players on the Sal so far. But I want to hear what you think. So email wsal@salesianum.org with your vote for player of the match. Of course, in the subject line, put A for Thomas DeRosa, the goalkeeper, number 0. B for Joe Turturro, number 10. C for Daniel Matthews. Or is there someone who you think deserves it more? Write it in the subject line in your email. We'll see what the results are.
St. Benedict's now with very good through ball in, and it'll be a goal. Frank Pa there delivered that ball so exquisitely. In the end, it's, I believe, we're 23 again. Steve Jean-Baptiste with the double to make it 3-0 here. We have a replay. You can see Pa there just able to get it. Perfect, very, very perfect ball between Joseph Turturro and Declan Takum. And Jean-Baptiste getting in between Dominic Siriaco and Elijah Asio, those two center backs. Likely what happened, both of them thought that the other would cover, and in the end, neither of them did. It's 3-0 for St. Benedict's here at Abysinio Stadium. Don't forget to vote for the player of the game, as you can see in that ticker tape on the very bottom. Email wsal@salesianum.org with your vote. In the meantime, another very good ball for Steve Jean-Baptiste. Now Rossi, though, with the ball. Attempting to get it towards Matthews. Sawyer Vaya with immediate pressure from St. Benedict's. So far, he still has the ball. Sends Daniel Matthews with the Trivella. And in the end, it'll be a corner. Mason Schuler wasn't happy about that one. Kicking the air in frustration.
The entire Gray Bees bench there was jaw-dropping at the decision of the line ref, but the decision is final and the Salves will get a corner. Hopefully they can use this set piece to try and cut the deficit back down to 2.
In the meantime, Braden Moultrie coming off and Chase Esser coming on. You can see just blocking the keeper there with his hands. Joseph Turturro attempting to get that one, and now St. Benedict's are in a very dangerous position. Very, very poor position for Nico Rossi. However, he's going to attempt to get to that ball. An amazing defending from Nico Rossi to stop that 3 versus 1. Have to give props for Nico Rossi. That was a 3 versus 1 situation. He was left all by himself as Salesianum put forward those bodies to try and get the corner. But have a replay of that. You just see that Nico was able to get his body in front of the ball, protect Steve Jean-Baptiste from getting a 3rd goal and making it a hat trick. Well, you didn't see it there, but a skillful nutmeg from Frank Pa got the crowd wilding. Declan Takum not too proud of that defense. You can hear the train now. Of course, Abyssinia Stadium right next to a trail line.
You know, Adam, most times that train adds a really interesting backdrop to some of these sporting events. But other times, it's just a little too loud for what we're doing up here. Just gets in the way a little bit.
Yeah, I think it might be closer to the latter for that one.
As Adu goes to take this free kick.
Klontak, not with the optimal touch there, and neither with Joe Turturro, but referee deeming 100% that that was a free kick after that push from number 14, who actually isn't on St. Benedict's roster. Maybe a mistake. CO taking this quickly. It's for Thomas DeRosa. Siriaco sends a long one towards Daniel Matthews. Matthews flicking it, but just no one there.
St. Benedict's moving the ball into that attacking 3rd. The CO says no and sends it to Turturro. So in a very physical one-on-one, Turturro's able to get through.
And now Daniel Matthews, Turturro taking a tumble as he was hitting that ball and wasn't able to just place it, just bend it right into the spot where Matthews wanted him to. Valiant press, valiant aggression from Joseph Turturro. Again, back from injury. However, he's just able to always be aggressive, always be on the ball, so props to Turturro for his work. Great photo there.
Some physical defense there from Declan Takum.
St. Benedict switches to their left flank. Mamadou Dieng. Not able to get past Trevor Pobre, who's currently filling in at right back. A shot there, but Rosa didn't need to touch it. He knew that it was going far. Looks like there will be a substitution now. Mamadou Dieng. We actually have a replay of this shot. Yeah, just skipped past DeRosa, but he knew in the end it would be fine. That substitution, as I was saying, Mamadou Dieng, number 26, coming off. Coming on will be the second of the Anim brothers, Godwin Anim. Pobre now. And Anim making an instant impact as he's able to get past Pobre. Addo now. Now it's Jean-Baptiste, but he wasn't able to get on that ball fast enough. Just a little too pacey for him. DeRosa with the punt. Esser attempting to redirect that to Matthews, but in the end unsuccessful. Chicho with a strong press, one-man press there, forcing a throw-in. Good work from him. Excuse me, it did not go out for a throw-in. It's very close.
A hard physical stop on Turturro. He's down. It's unfortunate to see as St. Benedict's still going in that attacking third. Elijah Isio tries to slow it down. So does Sawyer Valle.
Yeah, Turturro off screen is really hurting for him. Referee, of course, isn't allowed to call the game because St. Benedict's had that advantage there.
Turturro still trying to be in. He was able to get up and almost got involved in that last play. Now he is back involved with that touch right there. He's still got it.
Yes, Daniel Matthews now to Esser. Sawyer Valle is out on that left side. Valle to Matthews. Matthews with a great turn there, but just not able to get past St. Benedict's defense. And it'll be a free kick due to Esser's challenge. Replay here on that previous save. Just bobbling a little bit in DeRosa's hands, but as you see from those multiple angles, he was able to get his hands on it. Thank you to the WSAO replay crew. Play restarts on the opposite end, talking about the opposite goalkeeper, Mason Schuler. He's been doing a splendid job tonight, keeping that clean sheet, maintaining that clean sheet against Salesianum.
Incredible backwards header there from Isio. Unfortunately, not doing much until the Sal's are able to send the ball backwards.
Isio able to get creative there with that backwards header. Certainly not conventional, but you got to do what you got to do to win. Pobre was willing, wanted to take it quickly, but the referee told him no. Doc Joe Zerba and his assistant being sent out for the maybe a fourth or fifth time there. Fifth or sixth time even.
I think this is number 4 for Doc Joe.
Daniel Matthews and Chase Esser. Mix the names up a little bit. Getting some water from one of the best managers on the East Coast, Franco Vranich. Known for his ball knowledge here. Of course, while he still is only a senior in high school, he's been contributing a lot this season to the tactics and water duties of Salesianum. Thank you, Franco Vranich. Luckily, that St. Benedict's player that went down is coming off with the help of Doc Joseph Zerba. Thank you, Doc Joe. Three new players coming on for St. Benedict's. We had number 4, Marco Bermeo. Number 23, Steve Jean-Baptiste re-entering the pitch. Number 17, Joshua Mendez. Short free kick taken quickly. Turturro able to recover the ball, fiddling a little bit with it, but Esser now. 3-player press there, and just not paying attention. I don't know what it was, but pass just goes out. St. Benedict's have possession again with 23:52 left on the clock. Out for Salesianum throwing. Of course, with 23 minutes on the clock, they would need a goal every, give or take, 7.5 minutes to make this happen. Salesianum with another throw in there. Trevor Pobre able to guide it to the feet of Chase Esser. Chicho now to Sawyer Valle. Pobre in with a cross. Matthews able to get a touch on it. Clan Takum with a very heavy press, but nothing happens, and go out for Salesianum. Excuse me, on Salesianum for St. Benedict's.
The Gray Bees taking their sweet time here, just letting the clock run out, counting the seconds so they can get back to Jersey.
We did have one substitution there. Number 12 coming off, Brennan Quezada, right back. Coming in for him is number 6, Godson Aneem.
Incredible move there by the field ref, just getting out of the way of that ball, let it right through his legs. In an incredible move, or an incredible display of his athleticism.
Referees, of course, have to be athletic as well, not just the players, so props to him for some very good calls tonight, and, of course, staying out of the play. Takum there with a wayward clearance. Chicho with some nice control to Sawyer Valle there. They're known as the Ronaldinhos of the team, Valle and Brian Perez Herrera. There he is. You could tell by that smile. He's a Ronaldinho type of guy. Sawyer Valle there. Known for his composure both in and on and off the pitch. There's another throw-in for Salesianum. Elijah Asio attempting to get there. However, yellow card for that challenge.
Not too sure there if the challenge itself warranted the yellow card or if it was Asio's reaction to which direction the foul was. But nevertheless, it will be a free kick for St. Benedict's.
St. Benedict's now in their offensive third. Long cross there into number 7 for St. Benedict's. Declan Takum able to get a little touch on it, but Alpha Ba just skies it. Elijah Asio coming off. He had to come off because of that yellow card. We have a replay here. Yeah, Alpha Ba with a touch to Jean-Baptiste, but in the end, Ba was unable to get a good footing on it. There was technically a substitution. Braylon Moultrie came in for Elijah Asio, but then immediately came out back for Elijah Asio because of that yellow card. And of course, in high school soccer here in the United States of America, players are not allowed to remain on the field immediately after receiving a yellow card. contrasting to European leagues.
Incredible move there from a CO. Unfortunately,
Talcum there with another iffy move, but Thomas DeRosa with a great save. Just lightning quick reaction time, able to get that as a corner kick. It'll be Godwin Aneem taking this corner kick. Excuse me, it's a throw-in. Looks like St. Benedict's had that problem as well. Just a little bit of confusion on their part.
no,
Instead it'll be
Alpha
Ba
Ba throwing this one.
Ba with the cross in. We have a replay now on that save. DeRosa, the classic, just get your hands in front of the ball and hope that nothing goes wrong. Always works out in the end. For the most part, 99% of the time.
Unfortunately for the Sal's, there's been 3 of that 1% occurrence tonight.
Yeah, they'll certainly hope to make sure it doesn't become a 4th, but here it could be a very, very hard shot taken from Godwin Aneem into the netting behind the net. Daniel Matthews, good touch there to keep it for Sawyer Valle. And another touch from Valle to keep it for himself. Falls now for Alpha Ba. Aneem now. 1-2 there for St. Benedict's. It's a little too far on that second pass. Syriaco's able to clear it. St. Benedict's with very good possession. Keeping the ball, not letting Salesianum really have much of it at all in the second half, to be honest. Kelly Aru with that long ball there to Aneem.
Now as the pace of the play slows down a little bit, I do want to remind everyone to vote for your player of the match, whether that be Thomas DeRosa, option A, option B, Dr. Turo, option C, Daniel Matthews, or option D, writing in your own guy. Please vote. Email wsal@salesianum.org to cast your vote. Every vote matters.
We would like to clarify that it is not Thomas DeRosa, Thomas DeRosa. Apologies for that spelling mistake from our booth.
There's an incredible challenge, unfortunately unable to quite get at the ball. There's a shot just wide right.
Yeah, that was a very, very well-worked play there from St. Benedict's. Just able to use that tiki-taka style of soccer and get many 1-2s back and forth. We'll look at this here. Number 7 there passing to who I believe is Jean-Baptiste. But just wasn't able to curl it in like some of those greats do. And for Mohamed Salah, Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, not able to get enough curve on that, enough spin to get into the right corner. But in the end, still a very well-worked play for St. Benedict's.
Where'd they even go?
Nico Rossi, center defensive midfielder here, taking the free kick. Blistering ball there, but Salesianum look like they still have possession. Tim, with 15 minutes left in this match in total, what do you think the Sals need to do to step it up?
You know, Adam, it's tough. I just think the Sals have got to really kick it back up and play at that fast-paced, intense rate that they were playing to start the game. They've just sort of petered off a little bit towards halftime and haven't quite gotten all the way back up there. I don't know if Coach Mosier just needs to give them Red Bull or what the deal is, but they got to wake up a little bit and try and make back these 3 goals.
Yes, they would certainly want that energy gum that a lot of professionals use now these days. But, of course, it's not available to them being high schoolers. Brady Esser waiting on the sidelines for a substitution. He'll be coming in, and in his place, looks like it'll be Brian Perez Herrera coming off.
Tried to go out the back. Referee says, no, you got to go straight to the bench. That'll be a long jog for number 14.
I'm surprised he didn't just let him go out the way he was. That would have been the faster route, at least for the referee.
Yeah, although I can't imagine the referee's not getting enjoyment out of picking the stoppage time, so I think he just wanted to flex that muscle a bit.
Salesianum just not being clinical with that passing. Number 10, Samuel Morales, the former goal scorer here tonight, that number 1 goal scorer tonight. Substitution here for St. Benedict's. Number 21 coming on, Leandro Menacho Ferrell. And number 26 coming on, Mamadou Dieng. Coming off, number 70, Nathaniel Addo, and number 77, Godwin Anim. Be a St. Benedict's throw-in now. The Salesianum is certainly starting to tire out, as you said, Tim. Rossi with the ball now. Tries to send Chase Esser, but Esser is deemed to have been a little too physical there, just grabbing the back of number 14 on St. Benedict's. Ball falls to Nico Rossi. Certainly been solid in his defensive position, number 8. It's not solid enough in the end, of course, with Salesianum being 3-0 down. Tim, do you think Salesianum will take this result, 3-0 down? Of course, it's not a win, but I believe it's the best record they've had so far against St. Benedict's in the past 5 or 6 years.
I mean, yeah, the Sal's, they just, of course you never want to lose a game, but if you were to lose a game, it being to the number 1 ranked team in the nation, and you playing soccer to the point where you only give up 3 goals to that team, you gave 5 up to last year, I believe. I think Coach Mosier is going to take this as a good sign, but that's going to be the silver lining of the situation, which is now that the Sal's might be 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly shows good signs for the state championship. Of course, Salesianum were number 2 in the state last year, not number 1. But saw there a very, very close deflection from, I believe, Dominic Siriaco.
Referee signals to let the subs in for St. Benedict's. Coming in are Elvis Agri.
Have a replay here. Attempts. Siriaco just able to get a touch on it. Scary touch for sure.
Also coming in is Yancini, the Grey Bees, number 13.
Corner kick taken there. Falls down, and Farrell hit the heck out of the pitch. Thought he might as well be ambitious there. Number 21, typically a center back.
Now a goal kick for the set. So this will take, send back.
Back now, under a lot of pressure. Turturro turning.
There you go, 5 times fast, Adam. Turturro.
Tongue twister, Turturro turning. Lots of consonant. Daniel Matthews chasing that. He might have a chance. He could take this touch, but in the end, Schuler, if he start to that run up, but able to keep it to himself, all was said and done. Six now on this right flank. Morales attempting to his second goal of the night, butCio taking it back. Morales seemed to have been making a little too much physical contact, as allowed. Free kick for Salesianum. Joseph Turturro, the one taking it. Siriaco now. Back to Theo. Don't have many options to St. Benedict's very formulated 2-man press there. Now Declan Tockham with the ball. Just left it for Chicho, who gives it to Turturro. Turturro wasn't able to find anyone there, but now Benedicts with the ball. Possession with 7 minutes, 15 seconds left of the match. St. Benedict's just passing it around very easily, not worrying whatsoever. And Salesianum, honestly, somewhat tranquil, letting them do so. There's some press, but the press has to be more than one man at a time if Salesianum wants to make this work. Elvis Agri taking the throw-in. Aru now back to Agri. Back to Aru. He switches over to Quezada. Mamadou Dieng now with some expert dribbling, but passing wasn't just there. Attempted slide tackle from Joseph Turturro. He's on the ground once again. And Ba versus Tockham. 1v1 of the night. Agri to Aru. Aru looking for the 1-2. But Tockham attempting to shield the ball out, but not able to in the end. Morales still has the ball. St. Benedict's with the chance to make it 4, and they do after some very, very lucky soccer right there. Coach Mosier very frustrated with his team in the end. We already have a replay for you. And his shot just struck the post, but it fell very, very nicely for Alpha Ba there, number 7 for St. Benedict's, who was not going to let that chance slide from his feet. And that means he gets 1 on the score sheet today, along with 1 from Samuel Morales, number 10, and 2 from number 23, Steve Jean-Baptiste.
Here comes that signature kickoff from the Sal's, looking like something out of Ted Lasso with the American football twist on a classic soccer play.
Certainly don't know where it was inspired, but this kickoff that Salesianum does has been used in other professional teams around the world, such as Liverpool and Manchester City in England, of course proving the rigorous nature of this soccer program here on the East Coast. Of course, St. Benedict's opting for the more traditional kickoff. But as we speak, there is a substitution. Number 23, Braylon Moultrie, comes in for number 17, Chase Esser. Chase Esser, of course, coming back from a very, very long period of injury. Albright just hitting that back cleanly to Sio, who sends for Declan Tockham, able to body some players off the ball. Just not enough communication between Matthews and Tockham. Matthews was disappointed that Tockham couldn't put it to where he was going instead of where he was before. Now Daniel Matthews attempting to get in here, maybe make 1 for the records. It'll be a corner now. Salesianum certainly want to get 1 in, and even if they won't win, they still would like to have that player who was able to score against St. Benny's. Corner taken from Sawyer Valle, but nothing comes out of it. The St. Benedicts are able to start their counterattack. Sio, however, able to regain possession. Some clattering defending there from St. Benedict's. We're able to get Salesianum to simply have a throw-in.
Adam, the votes have come in for our player of the match. And shockingly, a write-in is the winner, and that is Joe Grande winning the votes.
Joseph Grande, wow, I hadn't expected this, but I guess our fans, congratulations to Joe for winning the WSAL Player of the Game. I'm very surprised. Number 30, Joseph Grande, no playtime tonight whatsoever. Still able to secure that WSAL Player of the Match.
Interesting voting patterns from viewers, but I mean,
I'm certainly surprised it wasn't the other Joe. Yes, they do. I'm certainly surprised it wasn't the other Joe, Joseph Turturro, who had a much more impactful game tonight. But I'm very surprised. Joseph Turturro, Joseph Grande, I expect, doesn't even know that he got player of the match. Of course, being on the bench and not watching the stream. But congratulations to Joe Grande. We'll have to, Tim, you and I will have to go down and tell him.
Now we enter stoppage time here as there's a replay of that almost goal there, just barely to the left.
Yeah, as we were caught up in Joe Grande being the WSAL Player of the Match. Sawyer Valle had a very, very close shot on goal, a very beautiful half volley, inspired by the likes of Dominic Soboslai, Hungarian player known for his volleys and set pieces. Perfectly embodies Sawyer Valle and who he is as a player. But in the end, it just grazed the bar, wasn't able to graze the netting instead. Once again, congratulations to Joseph Grande for the WSAL Player of the Match. I do want to highlight just one more time Joseph Grande, number 30. Doesn't actually have a photo of him either, but everyone knows him, they love him. Joseph Grande, number 30.
As there's a foul against the Gray Bees.
Yes, foul against the Great Bees, and a free kick to come here for Salesianum. Of course, Joe Grande isn't taking this one. Instead, it'll be Sawyer Valle. Number 12. Like I said, Dominik Soboslai, Hungarian player for Liverpool in the Premier League, known for his free kicks. Had a brilliant free kick against Burnley, I believe, and Sawyer Valle just hitting the wrong bar this time.
Unfortunate, just caught a bit too much air under it, a little too much heat, and Sal's remain scoreless here in stoppage time. Speak of the devil, that's the final whistle.
What a match here at Abysinio Stadium. 4-0 St. Benedicts to Salesianum. Certainly not an ideal result for the home fans, but Tim, take us away. What has happened in this match?
Well, the game started very fast-paced from Salesianum. You know, they were really coming out the gates going. They were putting all their effort out on the pitch. But unfortunately, Steve Jean-Baptiste and and Samuel Morales were able to get 2 quick goals up in the first half, followed by 2 more spread out goals, again by Steve Jean-Baptiste, and this time Alpha Ba in the second. And the Sal's unable to quite match the Grey Bees after that first goal. They started to unravel a little bit.
Yeah, Steve Jean-Baptiste, certainly the St. Benedict's man of the match, and likely the entire man of the match, player of the match here at Abysinio Stadium. One more reminder, Joseph Grande, our WSAL fan-voted player of the match. Very good impact on this game, Joseph Grande. But in the end, Salesianum just not able to end that St. Benedict's curse of always losing to St. Benedict's. They'll certainly be looking as they play some more Delaware teams to keep up their Delaware win streak. Of course, they had their game against Milford and Wilford and Wilmington Christian with 8-2 and 8-1 scorelines respectively as they play their next match at Abysinio Stadium, which is, I believe, let us see. Excuse me, Boulder High School in Colorado, not at Abysinio Stadium. That took a long time to find. However, thank you for tuning in to WSAL tonight for this game between St. Benedict's and Salesianum. My name is Adam Inakuchi, and alongside me we've had Tim Grace. We'd also like to send a special shout out to the WSAL crew here in the booth today. Thomas Rochilla, JJ, Nick, and I believe as well, last but not least, Enzo Pescatrice, in addition to Brian Morgenstern on camera, and John on joystick cam as well. We thank you for tuning in, and we hope that you have a good night. Roll Sals.